this is not a comparison video. This is a video on what will we see in SH MonsterArts and Hiya Toys. A surprise topic at the end. SH MonsterArts, we'll start with them. They will probably be focusing on their movie graphic series. I already made a video about that, so I'm not going to say too much on the movie graphic series. We'll probably get maybe the next 4 figures possibly will be movie graphics, or maybe next 2, because 2 of them has already gotten shown off, so there might be 2 more that they'll show off. And we'll probably see them working more on the Showa era by knowing that we have seen Anguirus and Showa King Ghidorah. Anguirus was a decent figure. It was a decent figure. By the looks of Showa Ghidorah, it looks good. A lot of people got mad at me because I pointed out that the fur on the neck was unpainted. And I'm pretty sure they'll change that. They'll catch that mistake, because then again, it's a prototype. It's a prototype. So we might see a Megalon figure. We would love to see a Megalon figure. We would love to see that. Maybe 1955 Anguirus, since they released the Anguirus figure. I would love to see a 1955, Anguirus figure, because you can go with the 54 figure. So that would be really cool to have. Next, what will Hiya be working on? Hiya will be working on a lot. I feel like they have a lot. For 2026, with Hiya Toys, we will be getting a lot of released figures in 2026. And after all those released figures release, can we please get a Scar King? Hiya Toys, can we please get a Scar King? Please? I'm asking nicely. Please. Where is it at? We've been waiting since the movie dropped. SH MonsterArts beat you guys to finishing their lineup. SH released pre-evolved Godzilla, Kong. Everyone hated the whole Kong shenanigan. I even hated it too. They released Godzilla Evolved, Mothra and Suko pack, Scar King, Shimo. Both Scar King and Shimo, people just went off, hated on those. Shimo isn't a bad figure, actually. It's not a bad figure. It just has the worst issues to it. If this figure had detail like Hiya, this figure would have been amazing. This figure would have been amazing. But the figure just looks undone and just has blue on it. All you see is like 3 colors, white and blue. Just by looking at the figure, you see white and blue. That's how undone it looks. All you see is white and blue in the figure. And the overpricing just makes it even more worse. Anyways, people with the Scar King, I just saw more hate on the head sculpts. To be honest, I just saw more hate on the head sculpts. The body sculpt, I only saw one person complain about that on YouTube. But can we please get a Scar King Hiya Toys? Please, please listen to us. Anyways, we will see Scylla. in quarter 4, I think, or quarter 1 of 2026. I noticed that Hiya Toys paid attention to a Titan that literally had very little screen time. And they made a figure of him. It had a little bit of screen time in GXK and barely any screen time in King of the Monsters. Godzilla 2000 is coming up. I'm pretty sure it drops in the US in September. Releases in China in August, the end of August. Hopefully I can get my hands on that figure. That would be amazing if I could. That would be amazing if I could get my hands on that figure. That would be amazing. I want the 2002 Godzilla from Hiya Toys more because I saw how much change they put in head sculpt. I mean, not head sculpt, head articulation. It can look up way more. Just by seeing how my Hiya figure can look up right now. So here's my Hiya figure right here. So right now, this is how, when it was starting, this is how far it can look up. That is a really good range of looking up. Just for a figure. This is like a figure from maybe like around the start when SH was, I mean not SH, Hiya was kind of starting out. This is a pretty old figure. That's how far I can look up. And if you take a look, if you take a look, that is a barbell style ball joint right there. Hold up, let me see if I can. See, this is a barbell style ball joint. As you can see, like, it's got movement. And this is it. This is what you're seeing through those flaps. But not the range of articulation you think without the flaps. But these are what the flaps are for. So, seeing how the 2002 Hiya figure can move with its head is proving to me that Hiya is improving. There you guys see it. That is an old figure that Hiya released. And it looks up perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. So seeing how well this figure can look up is mind-blowing to me. It's mind-blowing to me. This figure has really good head movement. I really want to see how well the waist, and we've seen how well the waist can move. This figure has insane articulation. Insane articulation. This figure's articulation is insane. So I really want to pick that figure up. I really do. So seeing how Hiya Toys has been improving shows that they care. And honestly, comparing it to the SH MonsterArts 2002 Godzilla, the articulation's actually pretty decent on the figure. The figures, I don't have a problem with the SH MonsterArts 2002 figure. It's an amazing figure. Anyways, Hiya Toys got some releases coming out that everyone are excited about. Seeing what Hiya Toys, and I know I said I'm not going to compare these two, but I need to get this out. Seeing how Hiya Toys has improved shows that action figures, like all action figures, not just Godzilla figures, all action figures are improving with accuracy. That's what we've seen. Accuracy. We've seen an insane amount of accuracy with action figures. That is a good thing. SH MonsterArts, they are improving. They're improving. I'm not mad that they're improving. I'm glad they're improving. Because it keeps collectors happy. I'm a collector. I'm happy with what they're doing. But sometimes I may not agree with what SH MonsterArts is doing right now. Just like their movie graphics thing. I may not agree with it, but it seems to work for other people. And that's all that matters. Us as collectors should be happy with whatever company we buy from. Hiya Toys, SH MonsterArts, maybe even NECA. So, that's enough for both of those companies. The surprise topic, Hot Toys. Hot Toys is a company that makes really great Marvel figures. Like, oh my gosh, these figures are insane. Carnage and Venom, those figures from Hot Toys are like insane. They're insanely good. Like, they're pulled exactly right out of the screen. Insane paintwork from Hot Toys. And I did some digging. And remember that post I made? What if Hot Toys made Godzilla figures? Think about that. How would this look? We've already got people making statues of Godzilla figures, like Prime Studios. Hiya Toys are even making figure size statues. Figure size. They're making figure size statues. Even X Plus, they just released a beautiful, beautiful Godzilla Evolve figure. Or a statue, rather. Now, what if Hot Toys made an articulated Godzilla figure? Now, when I first heard of when I first heard of Hiya Toys, all the way back in like 2022, I think, 2021, around that, I was like, this is like an X Plus figure that's articulated. Those were my exact words of when I first heard of Hiya Toys. And obviously I was exaggerating because they're not even like X Plus. X Plus has a better paint job. They're not even close to being like X Plus. But Hot Toys makes their figures different. They hide the joints well. This is how they would look. Imagine we got a Godzilla Evolve from Hot Toys. Hot Toys has spoken about getting a Godzilla license. It is possible we could get a Godzilla figure from Hot Toys. If Hot Toys started making Godzilla figures, they would easily be better than Hiya Toys. They would easily solo SH MonsterArts. They'll be better than SH MonsterArts, rather. This would be insane. But one thing, even though the figures would be better, the pricing is... What will the price be on a Godzilla figure? Let's say Godzilla Evolve was a Hot Toys figure. How much would the figure cost? A normal Hot Toys figure, like a Marvel figure, would be around $300, $400. Expensive. Very expensive. Even though the figure may be expensive, it's still good. But how much would it cost? My guess, if for Godzilla Evolve, I'm thinking $450. $450. That's how much a Godzilla Evolve would cost. Oh my gosh, if they made a Shimo, that would be insane. How much would Shimo cost? Possibly $700. I would love to see Hot Toys make Godzilla figures, but it's kind of bad for most collectors if they did. Most collectors would go for SH MonsterArts or Hiya Toys. That's what collectors buy now. SH MonsterArts and Hiya Toys. But most collectors might not be able to buy this figure because it would be so expensive. So I honestly think it would be a good thing if they made Godzilla figures, and a bad thing they would make Godzilla figures. Honestly, it's not really bad. It's just going to be hard for a lot of collectors to buy the figure. And it's going to be hard to collect all the Godzilla figures. All collectors would want to buy the Godzilla figures. They would want to get a Hot Toys figure. Most of them will be expensive. Ghidorah would be $1,000 possibly. A lot of collectors would want to buy this figure, but it would be very hard to buy the figure. So Hot Toys, if they started making figures, that would actually be insane. But if X Plus started making 6-inch or 7-inch Godzilla figures, articulated, that's a game changer. It would be possible because X Plus statues aren't that expensive. They're cheaper than what a Hot Toys figure would be. So X Plus would probably price their figures probably like $200, maybe $150, maybe $200 for pre-order. That's what I think. So X Plus, Hot Toys, make a figure if you can, a Godzilla figure. It'd be pretty cool if they could. And Hot Toys, it would be way too expensive for collectors to even obtain. It would be way too expensive. Collecting all SH MonsterArts figures are just as expensive now. The repricing after people sell the figures, like on Amazon or eBay, $200 for a Heisei figure, $700 for Destroya, $500 for a King Ghidorah, $300 for a Godzilla 2000, except the new 2000 they just came out with. Collecting SH MonsterArts nowadays are expensive. Just by collecting all of the GXK figures from SH MonsterArts is like around $700. That is expensive. That's expensive. Just for the GXK lineup from SH MonsterArts. That is super expensive. Getting all the Hiya figures, GXK Hiya figures, there would be Kong Beast Glove, Scylla, Evolve, Shimo. Pre-evolve, that's like 6. So that's like 300, around that, 300, 400. Someone calculate that if you wish, if you want. It will be way more expensive to collect SH MonsterArts than Hiya. That is a fact. Can't ignore that fact. Don't ignore the fact. And it's honestly for a pretty good price, because Hiya figures are cheaper than SH MonsterArts figures, and yet they are more accurate. They are more accurate to the movie than SH MonsterArts, with some figures. With most figures, but not all figures. So, yes, I would love to see X Plus or Hot Toys make a figure. That would be cool if they did, but it would be hard for collectors to obtain. And Hot Toys figures are big. They are huge. The 11-inch Playmates figures, they're bigger than that. Just about. They're just about bigger than an 11-inch Playmates figure. They're about 15 inches tall for like maybe a Hot Toys Venom figure. Hot Toys Venom figure is probably almost nearly 20 inches. Those figures are huge. A Hot Toys Godzilla figure would be 20 inches possibly. I might be exaggerating a little bit. Maybe 15 inches. But they are around they are for sure taller than the Playmates 11-inch Godzilla figures. Scale it with that. Think of your Playmates figure as a very detailed and accurate and articulated figure. So, Hot Toys are looking into making Godzilla figures. Hot Toys are. But it would be hard for collectors. Just keep that in mind. It would be hard for you to obtain one of their figures, because they are very expensive. SH MonsterArts are expensive, but they're not that expensive for pre-order. If you catch them on a pre-order, that would be good. Like the brand new 2000 they came out with. That figure is about $80 for pre-order. And it'll probably be better than, and it's probably going to be a really good articulated figure. So that's probably all we got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's try to get to 300 before the year ends. 300 subs before the year ends. Can we do it? I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Like I always say, whenever that will be.